Hello. So this is our second session, and we're gonna talk about Somewhere. Somewhere is Sofia Coppola's latest film, which won the top award at Venice Film Festival last September. Okay, so we're gonna start talking about the story of the film first, and what we think about it, and then move on about the whole production, acting, etc., and end up with a rating. What I really liked about the film was that it pretty much shows the guy's relationship, like this main actor, the celebrity's relationship with the industry, with the entertainment industry, and it pretty much shows how shallow and artificial it is, and superficial, and also like the obscene luxury that like you see in every almost second of the film in the guy's lifestyle. And when you compare that to how he feels about all the money and fame and sex and all the things that like it can be the ideal life of any normal person, that is what makes the film so interesting to me.
Yeah, that's to your point. I think it's very interesting that they have managed to completely de-glamorize the entertainment industry and the whole celebrity life, and kind of show the irony between what we see as an entertainment life with what actually it is. And and it's very interesting because they kind of portray the whole boring routine lifestyle of the guy who's completely emotionally devoid. Like at some point you feel in the beginning of the movie where he falls asleep on the strippers. It's almost like a routine of the party, the stripping the strippers going around, and he even falls asleep on it. So
there's no excitement.
No, there's no excitement. And he's completely emotionally devoid. And the only part in the movie that kind of is trying to tell you that this guy still has some feelings is the relationship with the daughter. And I thought there were some interesting scenes in the movie. Like, I thought the extreme scene that was trying to basically show the entertainment scene was the part that he was in Italy and he was accepting the award, and that was the most extreme part because it was in a foreign language. These girls were dancing around him singing in Italian. He didn't know what was going on, and so that was a very interesting.
That's a very good point, because throughout the film you realize that this guy is just going through life without even having any control on his life. He's not making any decision. Like his life is just continuous of events that he has no control over. He gets calls from his agent that he has to show up at this place at this time. He has to take pictures now. He has to go answer questions. He has to go to Italy. Like, he is not a real person inside. He's not really making any decisions, or he stopped making decisions. And you feel like that's been his life for a very long time, and we're just watching a slice of his life at that moment. So in that sense, he's kind of drifting through life. Yeah. And there's a scene where he's in the pool, and he's kind of like, floating on the pool. Like that kind of symbolizes that.
Actually, that reminded me of Graduate. Remember Graduate? There's a scene, and that's almost the part that you've completely given up on life.
Most of the time we're kind of alone with this guy in the room. We're kind of witnessing his loneliness, and it was so effective how the director showed us that loneliness. How there were a lot of long scenes of him in a room,
just sitting on a couch,
just smoking. And those are the scenes that we can actually connect to because we've all been there.
Get back to your argument about how he shows that loneliness, and when you're alone with the character. I think that molding scene when they're doing that mold up his face, that is the best.
I think it's a very
part that totally like shows all this whole feelings of him being alone in the room and just breathing heavily.
Because at some point I thought he was falling asleep.
2 minutes or so.
Because you know how he tends to fall asleep, say on the stripper? You know how his breathing pattern changes while they were
like he starts going heavily
I
and
know.
heavily.
Oh
And
my god, that was an amazing
so
scene.
claustrophobic.
Yeah,
I
it
could,
was.
I could feel his
Yeah.
claustrophobia, and
That's
in a
true.
way, that's how he's going through life.
it's also about the awkwardness of all the relationships that he has with his other colleagues or like fans, like people he meets everywhere. So
It's so artificial and
No, but
there's no
yeah,
humanity.
but it also
Yeah.
shows how stupid. Like in the
yeah,
part that they had a press conference, remember this?
exactly. Like the stupid
Like poor guy
questions.
was like, "What the hell is
Yeah,
this
everyone is
question?"
asking, and
That was interesting. Actually, that was a part that was really interesting because the movie was trying to tell you, okay, this guy has this issue in his life, but then it was also saying that from outside, the people who are even interviewing him are also a bunch of idiots, and they just have this image of a celebrity that is completely wrong of what
He's
the
the
true.
product of that kind of mentality in the society,
superficial.
the superficiality of making an idol without even knowing who this person is.
And you know what? The other thing that I really liked was that right before the daughter enters his life, and at the end of the mold, like the face mold thing, is when he sees himself in the mirror with the like old look.
Old face.
Yeah,
I was
and
just
he's like,
gonna
fuck,
say-
like I'm gonna fucking
Yeah,
grow
Yeah,
That
so
was-
he kind of feels the
to
immortality of
be
himself.
80 years
Yeah.
old and look like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are very
Same shit.
smart
Yeah.
touches to the movie.
He
Yeah.
he kind of faces his immortality in that scene. That life is just passing him by.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have real connections, even with his daughter, then why is he
Yeah.
alive?
That's true.
How do you guys like the ending? Like,
Oh yeah, okay,
that's something that's the only part that I didn't like.
Yeah, I
about
was
the
just
whole
gonna
film.
say exactly. The only part that I felt was too much, because the whole film is very subtle,
Mhm.
and nothing is actually, thrown at you. It's just there. It's like everyday life. You have to really look for details to find out the messages behind it. But that scene, it was just too strong for that movie. It just didn't look like it was part of that same movie.
Yeah, didn't belong for
Yeah.
sure.
I thought another scene that she could have ended the movie was where he was eating pasta while just he was eating. I would have done it then.
Yeah,
It was just an interesting scene. It was a very tranquil moment that he cooks the pasta and starts eating this alone in his
Yeah,
room. I thought that was interesting,
Because
but
that was a change of character.
I didn't really.
too,
Yeah, it
right?
was just a character.
Yeah, so
I mean,
because he was
cooking
actually
and
cooking.
it was just a good
So he was
feeling.
engaging in life.
Yeah.
How much of this do you think came out of her own experience with her dad?
I read a few interviews, and she's denying it, obviously.
Okay.
In every interview, she's denying. She's like, no, like, this is ridiculous. I don't know why people ask me that question. But I feel like there's a little bit of truth in it, too. Like, there's a bit of personal story in that plot, for sure.
To be honest, I mean, I don't really know anything about her personal life or his father's, but I mean, what I can think is that he knows a lot about the real celebrity life than we do, and the whole fact that we see it as a glamorized way that in reality it's really not that. So she has a different level of understanding of the lifestyle, and of course she can portray that in the
She's
movies.
an insider.
Yeah, she's an insider, so she has insider information. But we don't. But I don't really think necessarily she should have had the same experience. I mean,
I'll give the film 4.5 out of 5, and I really just reduced that 0.5 because of not liking the ending and how the film ended.
oh,
Unfortunately,
then 4 or 4.5?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. And
You?
I really liked it, and I loved the simplicity and the minimalistic theme of the movie, and I would give it a 4.
I would also give it a 4. And the only reason is because of the ending. The ending was just, I mean, I guess I disliked it more than you. The rest, I mean, it was just perfect. I had no problem with it. And it was one of those films where I could see myself watching it over and over again.
okay, this is my favorite Sofia Coppola film.
Same.
I don't remember that one. I saw it 10 years ago.
Lost
Or
in
whatever,
Translation.
many years ago.
Much more. This is much more mature and subtle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.